Good morning, Atwater. Good morning, Atwater High School Falcons and families. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Facebook Live with the Atwater High School Administrators and Athletic Director and Activities Director. Joining us this morning, we have Mr. Braga, Atwater High School Activities Director, Mr. Nunes, Atwater High School Associate Principal for Guidance, Mr. Davis, Associate Principal for Student Support, Ms. Fonsavan, Associate Principal for Student Support, and Mr. Wine is joining us this morning to talk to us a little bit about athletics. So the format for today is going to be similar to our previous Facebook Live presentation that we had, where we're all going to take a few minutes to talk about some general topics and questions related to our various areas that we have. And with that also, we now have an opportunity to try to monitor some of the questions. This is a new program to us, so we're learning as we go with this new program that we're presenting on Facebook Live with. So I'll try to do my best to watch questions as they come in and see if we can bring those questions up for conversation with our group. If we do not get to the questions, we'll do our best to respond. We will follow up with those questions with the individuals that sent them in. And you always do have the opportunity to call us as well if you have a specific question that maybe we didn't cover or we didn't have a chance to get to. Just want to show real quick that all of our information and these presentations is going to be available. If you go to the Atwater High School webpage that you see here and you simply scroll down, you'll see right here, we're going to line up all of our Facebook Live presentations that we've had. We're gonna catalog them right here, so you can go back if you missed something or part of our presentation. You can go back and pull it up and take a look at what we've presented and some of the information that's available to you. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that, and you can share that with your friends that may have missed this presentation. Our goal in doing this is to try to communicate with all of our families. It's kind of a crazy start to our school year with the COVID situation going on. So we want to do our best to try to interact and communicate with all of our stakeholders, our students, our families, our teachers, our community, all of our folks, to let them know what's going on. So with that, we'll go ahead and start up with the first question. Mr. Braga, what's that first question?
All right, unmute. Format for what will the start of the school year look like, Mr. Theodosio?
Again, a wonderful question to start off with. All right, school starts Wednesday, August 19th. Now, Wednesday, August 19th, what we would anticipate it's going to look like is our students will log on in the morning to their first period class, and we'll talk about our class schedules here in a minute. And you will be live with your teachers in your classes, first period, second period, third period. The schedule itself is still being finalized as far as what the timelines are going to be for when first period is, what the break is going into second period, and how that's all going to work. As soon as we have that released to us, we will definitely be rolling that out and letting everybody know. Now, before we are able to do that, we need to make sure everybody has their Chromebooks and everybody has their MiFi devices. So for Chromebooks, and also their schedules, of course. Mr. Nunes will talk about schedules here in a little bit and what's going on with schedules. Ms. Fonsavan will talk about the Chromebooks and Chromebook delivery and MiFi delivery here in a few minutes. But what we'll need to run class every day is for all of our students to have their Chromebooks and MiFi set up in a designated spot to where they are comfortable learning, and they will engage and interact within their classes day by day, and attendance will be taken for that as well. So kind of along those lines, I'm going to ask Mr. Davis if he can talk to us a little bit about attendance and how that's going to work for us this year.
Sure, thank you, and welcome to this morning's live session. And I just wanted to stress the importance of daily attendance every single day. As soon as you get your schedule, it's really crucial that you are prepared and you're logged in at that particular time, every period of every single day. So attendance does count. It's imperative for your education, and we expect you to be logged in every single period, every single day.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Okay, moving on, Mr. Braga, what's our next thing we're going to talk about?
Okay, unmute. How are students, families, how can they come onto campus?
Okay. We do know that there will be a need for families to come on campus. We need to set that up in a safe manner for both our families that are coming on campus and our staff. So what our families need to know is when they arrive, first of all, we're encouraging all of our families to make an appointment. If you make an appointment with your counselor, or you call our tech hotline, or you call our counseling office, many times our counselors and our folks can give you a call back to resolve your issue, or even perhaps do a Chrome session where you're both on screen. You guys could talk about what you need to talk about. If it is an issue that you do need to come down here in person, first we'd ask that you make a reservation if you can. If that doesn't work and you still need to come down, we're going to have an information table that you will walk up and report to first. It's right outside the guidance office. And what you'll do is you walk up, they'll have a quick questionnaire that they're going to have you take to make sure that, you know, our questions are answered, to log you onto campus and to allow you to come onto campus. Do a quick temperature scan, temporal scan for your temperature, and then they will direct you to the appropriate area on campus. So if you're going to guidance, you'd go up to the guidance windows outside the office. If you're for technology, you'd be directed over to the library area for technology to take care of your technological needs. So it's important to know that we're not having folks go inside of the offices. Again, a measure that we're taking to make sure everyone stays safe. And it's also very important to know that everyone's required to wear a mask or a face shield when they come to campus for the safety of everybody involved. That's our district protocol for everyone being on campus, is that they do that. Okay. Tech support. We'll talk briefly because I know it's going to be talked about here in a few minutes, but I'll just kind of jump into the next topic that we have on here. And the next topic is tech support for Chromebooks and MiFi devices. How will that work? You know, the linchpin or the key thing that we need to have happen is we need everybody's Chromebook to work, and we need their MiFi to work. And MiFi is their mobile hotspot that they're going to have dedicated to them and given to each and every student. So if there are any technical issues that pop up while students are trying to log on, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've got a technology hotline that they can call, and that will be available throughout the day and into the early evening for folks that are having issues with technology. Now, sometimes things break, sometimes things need attention. That's when you would make an appointment to come down, bring your Chromebook with you or your MiFi device with you, and you would receive assistance in person to do that, following the steps that I talked about a little bit earlier. So I was going to talk about a little bit about when are you getting your hands on these devices? When do freshmen get their Chromebooks? When do all of our students get their MiFi devices? I'll leave that for her to discuss. Actually, Ms. Fonsavan, do you want to talk about that right now as we're kind of on the topic?
Chromebooks
Chromebooks and MiFi devices?
Sure. So freshmen, on the 14th, you have your roundup, and at your roundup, you're going to get your Chromebooks. At the Chromebooks distribution, inside your Chromebook is going to be your email and all your logon information. So that's how you're going to log on to the computer and then access your email. And then through email, you will access your teachers and your classrooms. For MiFis, they're probably not going to be here when we have roundup. So we're going to have you come back and pick them up another day. Teachers are aware of this, so they will be understanding. For the MiFi, there's lots of questions already in the chat. What if they go down? If they go down, we do have a hotline. I think some of them are going across the bottom. Yep, it's right there. You would call into that hotline, and we would help you get your MiFi back up and running, or your Chromebook, depending on whichever one you're having trouble with. And then if we can't fix it, then we would ask you to come in and we would swap it out. But most times we can fix it over the phone.
I see another statement on there too from looks like Merced Union High School District's on there, and they're stating that there's a MiFi tutorial
on YouTube.
On YouTube, there it is, where you can go online and you can get a tutorial on how to troubleshoot your MiFi device. And so we know this is important. We're looking at multiple ways that we can take care of this particular issue. And there we go. We're looking at multiple ways that we can support. We know this is important. So like anything that's new, there's going to be some bumps and some things that we're going to have to work through. I think we've gotten fairly good at being adaptable through the situation that we've been going through. We can't expect it to be perfect. We're going to really try, but if something happens, just be patient, work with us, we'll work with you, and we'll support you to get everything back online and get everything going. And that's the bottom line. We want everybody to have things working. We want to be able to have you access the curriculum. This is going to be way better than last spring. Last spring, we had a lot of students that did not have that ability to connect to online instruction, let alone live online instruction. So the district has made a tremendous investment in our students to make sure every single student has that hotspot device, that MiFi device, so that they can be live. And this will dramatically improve what we were able to do last spring. So we're excited about that. So that's pretty much what's happening. And again, I'm trying to do multiple things here, run the program, check out a couple questions, make sure we're staying on track. So we'll do our best, like I said, to answer the questions as they pop up. If we can grab one here and there, or if one of our folks sees one that we need to bring up, we'll talk about it. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of keep rolling through our program here so we can keep things moving. One of the questions that came up, or one of the topics that we have, is what about food service? Food service, nutrition service will be distributing meals the start of school, August 19th. They have put out a survey, and what came back and what's been developed is they're going to have 2 service times every school day. The service times will be 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and then again from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. At this time, it's for Merced Union High School District students only. Parents and guardians may pick them up. Also, what you need to know is students will receive both breakfast and lunch at either time. And so they'll be able to pick those things up and at one time and be able to eat it whenever it's appropriate, I guess, whenever they want to. So that's a little bit about food service and what's going to be available for students for being able to get meals. Yes.
Mr. Theodosio, I noticed on we got a YouTube question that I don't think we've addressed yet. How will work permits work this semester? Anybody on the panel want to address that?
I
Go
can
ahead,
jump
Mr.
in here.
Gaines.
Ms. Silva is actually in charge of those, and we are actually probably going to move her up here into the counseling office so the students don't have to come all the way onto campus. So they need to either contact her number directly, which we should probably add on there at some point, because we're getting lots of requests for work permits, and we want to be quick on getting those out. So for now, just email me or call the counseling office at 1224, and we'll add that work permit line on there maybe after today's session. But yeah, Ms. Silva in the counseling office will take care of that for you.
Good news. And the thing about work permits, I just kind of want to throw this out there. You know, I admire and appreciate our students that are working. I think that's wonderful for them to do, getting the work permit and working. I always enjoy seeing our students and interacting with our students out in the community that are working. The only advice I would give is please make sure you dedicate first and foremost your time to your education in this online community, your online scenario that we're in now. Make sure you reserve your time during the school day, because the work permits do have requirements during school time that you need to dedicate yourself to school first, work second. So if that's not possible, if you have a family scenario where you can't do that, there are other things that we can do that we need to work out individually. But make sure that you commit your time during the school day to getting your schoolwork done. And then, like I said, by all means, we love seeing our students work. It's a great experience. It builds your resume. We're very proud of the students who get out there and make things happen like that. So thank you, Mr. Nunes, for chiming in and helping us out with how to get work permits. One other thing that I'm going to talk about real quick before I hand it over to the associate principals and our other folks that are joining us is how do you stay informed in these times when you're not on campus? Okay, now more than ever is it's imperative that our families and our students stay informed from the school so you know what's happening. And both our parents and students can do this. Students and parents, we send out emails regularly. You need to check your email every day, especially our students. Every day you need to be online checking your email. We work very hard to provide information on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's another way that we can do it. We utilize Parent Square heavily. Parent Square, we're actually going to add, and I've requested that we do this, a link on our Facebook page, our main Facebook page, on how parents can can link up and make sure that they have the Parent Square app and that they receive our Parent Square information. Basically, the way that works, if we have something coming up that we want to put out, we can simply enter it into this Parent Square program, and it shoots out texts, emails, phone calls, whatever we want to do to everyone in that group that we designate it for. So if we want to do it school-wide to parents, a school-wide to 10th graders, or school-wide, we designate the groups we want it to go out to, and it instantaneously sends all that information out to our families. So it's a very convenient way of doing that. The old method of sending it in the mail, there's quite a delay in doing that, for one, and two, it's quite expensive to mail everything to 2,000 students and their families too. So utilizing this online platform, the online platforms that we have and the technology that we have now allows us to dedicate those funds more to our students in the classrooms. We do send some things out via traditional mail, like the packets that were sent out to our freshmen with the information in it. But we really rely upon our social media and our electronic forms of communication with families. But it's important to know, because not all families have a way to connect, even though their students will now have the Chromebook with MiFi device. When in doubt, give us a call. That's what we're here for. We're here to serve our community. So when in doubt, give us a call. And we have the numbers down at the bottom of the screen. If you call somewhere that doesn't take care of it, they will direct you to the appropriate area on campus to address your concern. And if concerns aren't addressed, or if there's an issue with that, then by all means call my office, and we'll make sure things are taken care of for you. So I see a question down below, paperwork. I need to kind of clarify that a little bit. For our freshman families, we sent out a packet that has the enrollment form, the income verification form, some required forms that we normally do at Roundup. Now, that was sent out towards the end of this week, so you may not have it yet. You may get it Monday or Tuesday or early next week. So if you don't have it, don't panic. If it gets to Wednesday or Thursday and you still don't have it, give us a call. But it's basically some information about Freshman Roundup that will be held on next Friday, August 14th. So what you'll do is you'll get this information. Our freshman families will get this information. They'll fill out the forms and they'll bring it through the drive-through roundup that we're going to have and hand it back in. And if all goes well, we'll have our devices that we'll be able to hand out to the students at that time. So it's just a matter of making sure we have all the correct information for our incoming freshmen, and everything's taken care of for incoming students. So that's what the paperwork is that's going out. Just went out to our freshmen. For our sophomores through seniors, did not send out a packet to all of you. Your schedules, Mr. Nunes will talk about your schedules and how you have access to your schedules. Actually, I'll turn it over to Mr. Nunes. He could talk about that right now, if you don't mind, Mr. Nunes.
Whew, thank you. I'm trying to keep up with Ms. Fonsavon in the chat box, and she's ultra fast. So schedules, again, before we go to schedules, let's talk a little bit about just kind of what we're dealing with, everybody, with the community, schools, families is the key word here is together. We have to be together with what we're doing, communicating. That's the key to being successful, because this is trying times for everybody, not only us, but for also families and parents and kids. So schedules are done. We rolled over into master schedule, which means that they are viewable for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. They can log on to Aries, and you can actually look at and see your schedule. Freshmen will not be able to view those because you don't have your passwords yet and your logon information. You'll get those at Roundup, and at that time, you'll be able to view your schedule. We are going to send them out via Parent Square also. So parents will be able to see those schedules in Parent Square, and we're shooting for Monday to send those out. So as we're talking about schedules, they went out yesterday to juniors, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And of course, the emails flood started happening around 6 o'clock last night. So Mr. T is going to share a little document here so that when we're talking about schedule changes, there's a limited amount of reasons why you can change your schedule. And the reason for that is that when you signed up for your classes through registration, that's how we built the master schedule, was based on your registration. So it's really hard to make changes just because you changed your mind, in the last 4 or 5 months. But there's a little bit of room to maneuver and we'll accommodate. But these are the reasons why you will get a schedule change. Okay. The first one, as you can see here, is students have been scheduled in a class already passed. If you took summer school and you passed a class, or you did a credit recovery class, you can get that class taken off your schedule and replace it with another elective. Okay, the second reason right here is student placed in a wrong level or grade class. Something got mixed up in registration, and there's a mistake in there. That'll be a schedule change. If you're missing a class needed for graduation or your A through G requirement, that's another reason why we'll change your schedule. If you have an incomplete class schedule or you're missing periods, so your schedule goes 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth, there's nothing in there. It's actually nothing. That's not even blank, and it goes right to fifth, or there's a little gap there. We'll change that and get that fixed. We want you to have all 7 periods filled with at least a placeholder. A lot of juniors and seniors are have non-enrolled if you have enough credits. A lot of kids are taking Merced College courses. We want those gaps in your schedules filled with where you will be. Now, the last reason we'll change, if we're having an issue balancing classes, if we have a class that's at 45 and the same class, another period's at 30, we want to have to balance classes as best as possible. Okay, so that wraps up scheduling. Again, if you have a specific need, you want to email your grade level counselor. Okay, that's your first course of action. Don't email me, which I appreciate the emails, but I have 500 of them from yesterday. So email your counselor. Speaking of counselors, the next thing we'll talk about here is counseling in general, social, emotional support. If you ever have a need, counselors are here now every day. There will be at least one counselor here every day from now until the end of school. So we encourage you to make an appointment. If it's a schedule change, easily done via email. Anything regarding your academic, yes, a lot of that stuff can be done through email. If you need more specific help, college and career information, capstone information, just general things in that realm, you can call and make an appointment to meet with your counselor. We just need to make sure we are all set up, ready to go here to accommodate you. But in any regard, if you are struggling, again, as we, kind of we all are. So if you have some kind of social support you need, you're more than welcome to come onto campus. Check in at the front desk. We have a welcoming station out front. You'll go to the welcoming station. They'll check your temperature, make sure you're good to go, and they will hand you off to Mr. Hernandez, or somebody in the counseling office will get you a counselor immediately to help you out and get you on the right track. So we want to make sure that you are aware, parents are aware, that we do have walk-up counseling available 7:30 to 2:30 here at Atwater High School. The next thing we're going to talk about here is Merced College. Lots of kids taking Merced College courses, and that's great. The CCAP courses are filling up, so you need to reach out to your counselor. We highly recommend you attend a workshop with Merced College first, or in the process as you're communicating with your high school counselor, because it's like a lot of people got to collaborate to get you on the right track for Merced College. So some of the college. So here's a flyer. This is also posted on our social media page. And there's a RSVP, a couple things you got to do. Some of the classes offered, when we're talking about CCAP courses, most of these classes are almost full. These are free. The books are free. There's other classes you can take, and we'll post that also on our website. I have a reminder from Miss Belmonte to make sure I post those things, and she doesn't let me forget. So I appreciate reminders, because sometimes things do kind of fall through the cracks. So we'll get that posted. The next thing I'm going to talk about is special education. When we're talking about special education, we're talking about lots of supports for students. And again, these are probably the most difficult times for these families and these kids. So we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to make sure you feel that we're supporting everyone, not just your student, but also the parents and families, because this is going to be a tough road the next 6 months or a year if we happen to go longer of going through distance learning. So we kind of came up with a little infographic here, just just to keep in mind that there's lots of staff here, there's lots of supports here in place, and each role has a different support in a different way. So again, your child, the first course of action here at the school is their individual case managers. So freshmen are going to have a case manager they don't probably know yet. We're reaching out. I started calling freshman parents last week. We'll probably wrap up this week. Hopefully some of the case managers will also end up making that connection. That's the first initial goal we want to do, is make sure we build those relationships. I think we do a great job. Our sophomore, junior, and senior counselors, case managers, they know the kids know the case managers. So there's a good relationship there to support those kids. Freshmen definitely got to start building on that right now. And those are some of the things that case managers are going to do. They're responsible for the IEP services. They have lots of learning skills classes to support. They collaborate with the regular ed teachers in class, a lot of team teaching going on to support special ed students. So the case manager is your first person that you're going to contact for any kind of support you need or help just in general. We talk about when we start school and you're in classes, and of course your case manager won't be with you every period. Your teacher will be. And we have a great group of teachers that do a great job supporting kids. So there's a little info here on just what the teacher's role they play in the class and just the dynamics with special education. And we also have classified staff supporting a lot of the students in classes and Zoom is going to look a little bit different. We'll be doing a lot of probably breakout sessions. So we're going to train staff as best as possible to support in those distance learning environments. We also have the student body office for all your insurance fees, athletics activities. There's phone numbers here. The library, Ms. Fonsaman touched on that, for Chromebooks, chargers, just general tech support. And we still do have books in there, believe it or not. There are books in there at some point. Hopefully when we're back in school, you can check out books and get some good info there. After your case manager and teacher, we also have the counselors here. Your grade level counselor is also responsible for making sure you're scheduled right, that you're getting the social emotional support you need, your college and career is being taken care of, and you're on track for your 6-year plan. Mr. Hofford, our school psychologist in the special ed office, he's responsible for assessments and IEP support, IEP scheduling. I do want to touch on something here. If you look at every one of these boxes, communication is probably at the top of almost every one. That's the most critical area, that especially now in this environment, that we're picking up the phone, we're emailing, and we're talking to people. I think we do a good job of reaching out and communicating. My phone is always, the office is always open as far as leaving a message. So if the phone doesn't ring, leave a voicemail. We try to call back the following day. And the last thing here is, administration. What we do for special ed is, again, we want to make sure that communication is taking place. We want to make sure, that we're supporting our staff. They're going to come to us with issues. We're going to want to make sure we're supporting them. We want to make sure we're compliant with all the stuff we have to do. Accommodations and modifications are going to be a little tricky when we go in this distance learning environment, but we have great people that are going to make sure those are taking place. And then if there is an issue that you feel that, that we're not doing, then we're the liaison to the district. We'll make sure we get the right answer for you. Chrissy Johnson is our director of student services. She's great at getting those answers and getting details that we need and back to parents. So that's about it. So just remember, counseling office is here. We're back full time. Email us, call us. We're here to help you.
Mr. Nunes, there's a question in the YouTube side that you might want to answer about college classes.
Okay, I'll go back and start answering. I'll try to beat you, Ms. Fonsaman.
No, it's on topic with what you're saying right now. It says, what if my child got approval to take college classes, but now my child will be homeschooled? Will my child be dropped from those college classes? And I think they meant distance learning.
Email me or just call this line on the bottom of the counseling department, and we'll look your student up and make sure it's taken care of. What chat box is in, Liz?
The StreamYard to the right for YouTube.
I see it.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Nunes. Lots of good information. Now, I just want to say real quick that we're throwing a lot of information out of our families very quickly. Please keep in mind that this presentation will be posted. You can go back and fast forward or reverse all you need to replay any of this information. or to gain something that perhaps you missed in part of our presentation. So that's just another resource for everybody to know that they can access that material a little bit later. So from there, we're going to go to Ms. Fonsavan. Ms. Fonsavan, it's your turn to kind of talk about some things that you're dealing with here at Atwater High School.
The main thing right now is just preparing for freshman roundup. We want to make sure our freshmen are prepared. So again, as I stated earlier, if you're just joining us, they will get their Chromebooks on the 14th for roundup. If you missed any of the emails or parent squares that we put out about roundup, it's all posted on all of our social media. Even on this Facebook, if you scroll down, you will see the infographics posted with all the information. It is by alphabet, and it is a drive-through. Students nor parents will be getting out of the car, and it's no contact. We'll be following all safety precautions for COVID. We won't have the MiFis at that time, so you will have to come back at a later date for the MiFis, but we will work that out. Your paperwork, lots of questions on paperwork, and I know Mr. Theodosio addressed that earlier. Your paperwork should be with you no later than Tuesday. If you do not get it by Tuesday, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I did put that in the chat box. I think pictures. Everybody's worried about their pictures and their IDs. At this point, we can't schedule any pictures online. At school. So no IDs will be happening. Pictures will be happening until a later date, and we will be sending out information regarding that when we have it scheduled. Seniors, I know that you're really bummed because you can't have your pictures taken yet. However, there is one way you can. You can schedule direct with our photographer and go to his studio if you want to get it done prior to having it at school. And I'll read that website to you right now. I got rid of it. 1 second. I don't have it up, sorry, but I think it's bncimages.com. It's Banks Photography in Turlock. So if you Google Banks Photography in Turlock, it'll come right up, and you'll see senior portraits. You can just click and schedule and go on in and get that done ahead of time. But as for pictures, we will keep you posted. It will happen. We're just not quite sure yet. Yes, there's going to be a yearbook. I saw that question. So be prepared to hear from our yearbook advisor, because she'll be asking you for pictures of your distance learning and other things. Another question was, is there going to be band? Yes, there's going to be band. You'll need to talk to the band teacher, and he'll give you more information. But that's about all I have for you right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Some good information there. I appreciate that. Let's move over to Mr. Wine, our athletic director, and talk to us a little bit about what's happening with athletics.
Hey, good morning, Falcons. It's Saturday morning. What the heck are we doing? That's what I was thinking. But you know what? Today, it's one day closer to getting back to normal. Now, what's normal going to be? I don't know. That changes every day. But around here, there's been so much activity in all the offices, counseling, attendance, principal's office, SBO. Teachers are getting ready. It's starting to look like school again, at least from our preparation point. So right now, athletics are on hold. There's a couple reasons for that. First reason, health and safety of students and staff and families and community. Second reason, we are always, as a school site and as a district, we are always going to follow state and county COVID-19 guidelines, again, for obvious safety reasons. The CIF state said things are obviously we're expecting things to improve with our numbers, so we're going to begin athletics. When is that? Well, probably second semester. Again, expecting our numbers to improve. So our section set up a sports calendar for 2020-2021. What does that look like? Season 1 will be from December through March, and season 2 will be from February through June. So what sports will be in what seasons? Instead of 3 seasons, we're going to have 2. So season 1, boys and girls cross country, water polo, volleyball, and football. Season 2, boys and girls soccer, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, basketball, track and field, plus baseball, softball, and competitive cheer. So season 1, season 2. Again, first practices for season 1, kind of the fall sports for the most part, will begin in early to mid-December. And then after the first of the year, later in February, our season 2, kind of the winter, spring combined sports will begin. So right now, what can you do? You can make sure as your schedules, Mr. Nunes told you, schedules are coming out. Yesterday, I had 525 kids in athletics. In my class, I started farming them out to the various coaches. So your schedule should reflect your athletics period. If not today, I'll be working on it a little bit this afternoon and maybe check Monday, Tuesday. So make sure, look on your Aries, check with me, check with your coach if you have an issue on athletic periods. What's athletics going to look like? It's going to look like an online PE class for the most part right now. Again, if you're having issues, contact your head coach. Emails are all on the website. My email's on the website. If you have not done so yet, get a sports physical. You need to use the athletic participation form. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And also, you need to set up an online athletic clearance account. That takes care of a lot of our signatures and paperwork. So, Mr. Theodoso, if you could switch over to the shared screen. Sorry.
I need your shared screen.
All right, I'm going to share it right now. Sorry. Figured third time's a charm. I would have had this figured out by now. So
there we go.
Got it. Okay, so if you look here on the Atwater High website, it says athletics. There's a couple ways to go about this. You can go athletic forms, which would be the athletic participation form. You can go to teams and schedules, which would be the different teams, and you can get your coaches' emails off of that. You can go to the athletic director website. Here's an example. So on the left-hand side also are those menus, teams and schedules. We'll click on one, teams and schedules. I need to find out who the cross-country coach is, so I'll go fall sports. There's cross-country, and there's Coach Rhodes' email information. So you can contact him and email him on as far as what's going on with cross-country, and there's all your other coaches as well. If you go to athletic forms, takes you to our district website. Here it says MUHSD Athletic Participation Form. And right there is what a lot of people call the physical form, but it's really more than that. You can see we need, your information, what sport you're interested in, parent and student signature. Down here at the bottom will be doctor signature. No chiropractors, no nurse practitioners. That's per our insurance company. And then here it talks about how do you set up an athleticClearance.com account. So that's how you get to all those sites through the web page. And then Mr. Theodoso, if you can go back to my main screen. So in wrapping up, what did we do? We did some summer workouts. June 22nd through July 10th, we had some distanced outdoors cohort conditioning. So we got back into some conditioning. It was kind of a test run. It went very well, but because of our rising C19 numbers, we were shut down. But the good thing about that, we had about 400 students cleared for athletics. So those are all ready to go once we start back again. What will we do? Again, when we're okayed by the county health department, we can return to those what we call phase A workouts. Again, as our numbers continue to improve, which we anticipate they will, we can start our phase B workouts. Phase B workouts will start getting into equipment use, some indoors such as weight room and gym. It'll still be distance. It'll still be smaller groups. All the sanitation we have to take care of. But again, we will take that next step in preparing for our athletic seasons. And then we'll start planning our phase C, what we're calling phase C, which would be getting ready for December, January, start of season one, getting into a little more traditional practice and game type stuff that we're expecting to get going in December and January. How's this going to happen? We all know how it's going to happen. We have to improve our C19 numbers. We have to get cleared by the state and county. Again, get off those watch lists, those 14-day numbers going down. And while we're doing that, our district and our sites are preparing. We have some plans in place right now. We're just waiting for the go-aheads to safely transition between all those phases. So again, we all know what to do. Mask up, wash our hands often, keep our distance. But today, right now, focus on returning to learning. Get your schedule, get your Chromebooks, go to Roundup, get back to school, get those classes rolling. And then as we get closer to Labor Day, we'll have a lot more information on when we can start up those phase A workouts again and get back to getting in shape, getting in condition, and getting ready for our season. So Falcons, contact myself, email, the student body office. Be safe, be ready. It's going to happen pretty quick, we're hoping. So thank you very much.
The Mr. Wine, there's a few questions on Facebook and YouTube. One of the questions is, so students can't do basketball and track, two sports.
I know we have a couple of seasons compressed, so we are going to find ways. And I don't ask me exactly how it's going to look, but our coaches are going to work together to find ways, because there will be more overlap than usual. Usually the season's end and the next season begins. This year there's going to be a little more overlap. We're going to find a way. We're all going to work together. Mr. Nunes had the word. It's communication. How can we do basketball, a winter sport and a spring sport? We're going to figure that out. We're working on figuring that out right now. So it can be done.
Another one, how do you sign up for sports?
So the quickest way is to contact your coach through email. So get on the Atwater High website, find your sport and your coach, and get a hold of the coach and say, hey, I'm interested in your sport. What do I need to do? And then we can get the ball rolling for that sport.
And then lastly, it was, is there a girl water polo coach? I lost the question.
Yes, everything's online. So if you check all the sports, they were updated last week. So we do have a girls water polo coach. Every coach is in place. Their emails are there. Again, if you have trouble with that, contact me. But probably the best place to start is the Atwater High website, and sport by sport, and all the coaches' emails are up there.
And then last one, what does it mean if Wine is listed as your teacher for athletics instead of the normal coach?
So what happens is everybody goes in my class, whatever my class is. So yesterday, as of noon, there were 527. And then I just started, okay, if you did football for the summer, if you did volleyball for the summer, if you did baseball for the summer, I started putting those students with those teachers. So right now my list is down to about 100. And this afternoon, it'll probably be down to about 50 or 60. So I still have a few more students that I have to farm out to their various coaches. One of the issues is ninth graders. Ninth graders don't have a sports history with us like a 10th grade or higher would have. Hey, I played football last year. Yeah, but you're a ninth grader, so we don't have that sports information on you. So contact me. Contact the coach if you're a ninth grader on sports you're interested in, if you didn't do something this summer. If you did something this summer, that coach has that info, and they're going to be getting that to us. So if you're under me, that's a good thing. You're in athletics. Now, what teacher are you with? Again, early next week, your Aries schedule should reflect what teacher you'll be enrolled with, so you can get started on your athletics account.
Okay, all good stuff. And listening to Mr. Peterson during his Friday podcast, he talked briefly about Phase A, and that's looking like after we start school up, we'll start looking at that Phase A, and we're making progress with Health Department of the state regarding high school athletics in terms of Phase A. So there's a light there that very soon we'll be able to move into that Phase A as soon as we get the permission to do so. So we're very much looking forward to that. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Wine. Let's go to Mr. Braga. A big important part of our school is our school culture, our school spirit, our activities, our clubs, and those types of things. I'm going to have Mr. Braga talk to us a little bit about what's happening there.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. We're going to do the best we can to maintain our great culture that we've built here. We're looking at ways to keep our kids engaged without the normal pep rallies and student sections and high school dances for the time being. It's going to be different. We're going to do it through videos, virtual dress-up days, the freshman drive-through. We want to make that special on next Friday. A lot of video announcements. We're going to do the best we can, and I have a lot of confidence in my leadership class. They're a bunch of motivated young men and women, and we'll do the best we can. I know that. Clubs, FCA, robotics, FFA, they'll still meet. They'll meet on Zoom and Google Classroom and whatnot. We also plan on asking our teachers to take on like special interest clubs, maybe like an auto club or a graphics art club, a club that everybody is really looking forward to, that Mr. Nunes, actually Associate Principal Nunes, he'll be teaching a yoga class. Everyone is just so excited for. Thanks, Robert. We're going to get kids, we know it's good for both the kids and the staff share interests with each other and just try to boost each other's spirits during these different times that we're in. We're obviously looking for ideas. If you see other schools doing something cool and, hey, Atwater should give it a try, reach out, call the SBO, email me. We're going to do everything we possibly can to have these kids still love their high school experience. That's all I got.
All right. I have you. There's your screen over there. Again, trying to manage this little program here. Kind of interesting sometimes. Thank you very much, Mr. Braga. As always, you're doing an amazing job with the with that program, the activities program for us, and we very much appreciate all you do. And Mr. Wine, same for you. Been working extremely hard over the summer, taking care of all the athletics changes and plans and everything that happens. We're very fortunate to have both of you here leading these programs for us. So that's about all we have for today. We're working on this program again on how to drop in some video and do some cool things with it. One thing I would like to say is, this has been a great platform to communicate what's happening here at Atwater High School. And we're having discussions now about making this a regular event, maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, where we can highlight some programs on campus and communicate with our community some of the great things that are happening here at Atwater High School. So we look forward to doing that. Please keep an eye out for future Facebook Live sessions with myself or with other folks here from Atwater High School, as this is a great platform to put things out that are happening. So we have many great staff members and many great students here that are doing wonderful things, and this is a great way to communicate with our community what's happening. So with that, we are getting closer. We're looking forward to getting things started. There's been a lot of uncertainty leading up to this, but things are kind of coming together now. We do know there's a little bit of angst about our technology being delivered with this COVID situation we're in. Our delivery dates have been pushed back a little bit, but we will be patient. We will coordinate and then communicate as soon as we have the definite dates for those things. Please keep an eye out for that, and we will get everything in your hands as quickly as we possibly can. So that's what's happening for us here at Atwater High School. We very much appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. Again, we would like to have everybody share this with other folks that may not know what's going on, and direct them to our webpage where they can look at some of our past presentations of Facebook Live as well. Before we part, I do see that last question that's popped up there. We'll get this to Mr. Nunes real quick. Are there going to be TA classes this year? And there's the response.
I'm getting quicker. I responded as fast as I could. So yes, we do have TA classes. Just remember, the teacher has to prove it. So just don't randomly email a teacher. Hopefully you've had a class before where you can kind of help and you have a little relationship there with the teacher. So yes, TAs are available, juniors and seniors.
There's a few questions on attendance and how logging on and all of the requirements for students. Do you want me to read them?
Okay, yes, I'm not seeing them. Go ahead. Yeah, if you could call them out, we'll address them.
Are they going to be in class as normal days in school, or how is it going to be? That's one question.
Okay. I can tackle that very quickly. They will be required to be live in class on time every day. So that's why we're making sure everybody has a hotspot device and a Chromebook. So there should be no barriers for them being in class on time every day. So there's going to be a live portion of what we're going to do. And then there's going to be a homework section or asynchronous part of what we're going to do in each class. Now, the exact schedule and how it's going to go, how many minutes per period and breaks and those types of things, that they're still working on. We will receive that information soon, and as we receive that, we will get that information out to everybody. I don't expect it's going to be exactly the same schedule that we had this last spring. I think it'll be modified a bit for the online environment that we're going to be in, but that's something that's being worked out among the district and among our Teachers Association. They're collaborating on that right now and working on that. As soon as we have that final answer, we're going to roll it out for everybody, so you know what to expect. But let's say we have a student not check in and they're not logging in like they're supposed to. Technically, they're going to be absent. So it is the same as reporting to school each and every day. You need to make this a priority to be in class on time every day as if you were here on campus. If you're not, Mr. Davis and his attendance teams will be making phone calls home, and even if necessary, they'll be doing home visits to make sure people are connected and online. So if you know folks that think that maybe this is going to be like last spring where it was a little more loosey-goosey and just kind of on the fly, that's not going to be the way it is. It's going to be on class on time every single day. And we'll be checking up on those students that are not logging in on time every single day. We have folks dedicated to do that.
And then Braga, there's a question about clubs. Are we having clubs?
Can you read the question?
Is there still going to be clubs, Mr. Braga? Yes.
Yes, virtually.
The clubs are, again, a big part of what we do here. We just have to change and adapt and be creative and innovative with how we go about doing this. So, I would expect our club advisors to be putting things out in terms of joining clubs. I would expect them to be interacting with those students within the clubs. And, because we are going to come back to school. And when we come back to school, it's going to be as if we didn't skip a beat. Those clubs are going to be in motion and they're going to be moving forward. And we want to make sure that, that important part of our school still continues.
And, in a normal year, we always have a club rush event where freshmen can jump right into a club right when they get to Atwater High School. We're still doing that. We're still going to have that virtually. It'll be in early September. And, you'll know students, parents, when that is. We'll blast it all over social media and Parent Square. But, yeah, we want to get these kids involved virtually.
Hey, Mr. Theodosio, there's been a couple questions about the school day, about when classes start. And I know there's some more details in that, like how long they have to be online, end day, start time, end time.
Yes, again, that's being negotiated right now. We do not have the exact daily schedule yet. As soon as we get it, we will advertise it so everybody knows when they need to report at what time. I don't think it'll be exactly the same exact schedule that we had when we were all live. I think it'd be a modified version of that, but of course, everybody's going to have to know when they're supposed to report to which class and how that's going to work. So that information will definitely be coming your way as soon as we get it. And I expect hopefully this week we'll be able to get that information out. Any other questions as we're monitoring them? We could hit a couple more questions. We have a little more time. One of the questions that I see here are the sophomores, juniors, and seniors going to be sent information in the mail from their teachers? It's skipping around. There it is. Again, we will utilize social media. We will utilize Parent Square. We will utilize direct emails from your teachers because all of our students will have, if they don't have them already, they'll have their Chromebook devices and their wireless hotspots. The way teachers will communicate will primarily be through emails and Parent Square and getting that information home to our students and to their families. If you have not heard or you're having trouble communicating with any of your teachers, please call the school and we'll help bridge that gap that may exist there. We'll make sure that connection takes place. So we want to make sure that we're able to do that. So it's imperative that you check your emails every single day for our students. Lots of information will be coming your way because we're not seeing you and we're not, doing things in person. So it'll be virtually that we'll be doing all of this communication.
Hey, there was I'm not sure if I missed it, but there was a question regarding water polo and a coach. I'm not sure. Girls water polo? Is there a girls varsity water polo coach yet?
We addressed it.
Yeah, it's on the website. Go to the website, athletics. Coach Knobloch, she's listed her emails there.
Okay, can we sign up for yoga with AP Noons? No, not yet. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll put that on a curve.
Okay. Some other questions about the schedule. Again, I don't have any more to share on the schedule other than what I've mentioned already. We're all eagerly anticipating the final version of that schedule, and as soon as it comes out, we'll get it out to everybody. That's a key piece, we know, of what we have to communicate. So there's another kind of an attendance question there. So how do you excuse a student for having a doctor's appointment? Mr. Davis, do you want to kind of talk about that real quick? If students have to be, they have a doctor's appointment, or if they have to miss school or those types of things.
Sure, absolutely. Just like normal, call into the attendance office and our attendance team will be able to take your appointment. And, just with the other attendance from teachers, typically you have 48 hours to clear an absence. So you do have some time, but try to call in those doctor's appointments or any other appointments that you might have as soon as possible. So attendance will be taken in each and every single period. So if you know that you're not going to be able to make it into that live session with your teacher, then please go ahead and call the attendance office like you would for normally excusing your child.
Very good. So just like school has always been, if you're going to miss, you got to call it in so we can correctly identify what the absence was for and document that for the purposes for our review that we have to go through for attendance. So any other questions popping up from our team here?
Question about Chromebook insurance, and I just popped the link up in the chat. So the link is there. It's broken. I don't know why Facebook breaks it. So you're going to have to copy and paste the entire thing.
Okay. All right. I want to thank our team here. You guys have done an amazing job of trying to address all the questions. Like I said, we're getting better at this. We're figuring things out. We'll go through, and as we see some questions, maybe we don't get to live here. Again, we can follow up. You can email our teachers. I can show you really quick while I have you here how to find the emails for our teachers. If you go to our Atwater High School webpage and you come over here to staff directory, if you click, oops, got to do it over here. If you click on staff directory, and if your program works, there you go. It pops up and has all of our teachers, and you would just then click on their email and it will email the teacher. So all of our teachers are here on the staff directory for Atwater High School. So real simple. We try to make it as easy as possible for folks to find things and to, there we go, and to make information accessible and available. So please, by all means, reach out, communicate. Now more than ever, communication is going to be key, and parents need to, and caregivers need to support their student in this process. Even though our students are digital natives in terms of growing up with technology, there's still a lot of skills that need to be developed within our high school students from 9th to 12th grade as far as reaching out and communicating and making sure that they follow through with communication. So that's where they need a little guidance and help. Don't assume they're always going to do it. Make sure that you support them and have conversations with them about how school is going and what's happening at school and how are you interacting with your teachers and how is the online learning. That should be almost a daily conversation with your students at home. Do a regular check-in with your students, ask them how they're doing, ask them how this is working for them, provide information and guidance on ways that they can resolve issues that they may have. I encourage them to try to resolve their issues. It's part of growing up, is learning how to self-advocate and learning how to be able to address problems they may encounter, but they always, will still need perhaps a little guidance and support from family members in terms of taking care of issues. So that's another learned skill that helps us be competent and capable adults is learning how to address issues and self-advocate. So, but check in regularly. Make sure that you're staying on top of it. If you have questions, give us a call. Parents can check Aries anytime they want, see how grades are going. Our teachers will do their best every couple of weeks to make sure that grades are updated, and we'll work hard on that. But again, stay involved. Students, definitely stay engaged. Make sure you're checking those emails every day and engaged every day. Parents, be checking in with your kids and giving us a call also if there's anything else that you need. So I think we might have time for one or two more questions. And The learning platforms is an interesting question. It will be via Canvas, or it will be Google Classroom. The teachers have the option of either platform that they'll be able to teach from. So both of those, I think eventually where we're going as a district will be more towards Canvas. So as we progress and move forward, I will look for more and more things on the Canvas platform. So again, we will be continuing to monitor questions. And again, if we don't get to your question, please give us a call. That's about it for our Facebook Live for this Saturday morning. I'd really like to thank again our team that's here presenting this morning on their Saturday morning. I'd also like to thank all of our viewers that have checked in with us, that are making comments and engaged with the presentation. We very much appreciate that. Thank you all very much for being here and being a part of what we're doing. And we hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we'll get started up soon. Be looking for more information over the course of this next week. Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Goodbye.